What is up, guys? It's your boy Santa Kakis, and today we've got some brand spanking new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, revealing official information. And so, let's get started. Now, first things first, what the heck is going on this week within Destiny 2? Well, the big thing is at the weekly reset, we had the launch of the Dawning 2023 event. So, if you want to know how the heck this event actually works, as well as a bunch of tips and farms to get what you need, I did do a guide on that. Check it out, it's linked up above. But importantly, aside from adding one brand new weapon, a new Arc Glaive, to this event, every year, the Dawning also brings back older year's weapons, but with all new perks. So we have 6 exclusive Dawning weapons to actually grind for this time around. It's a lot, but I actually did put out a video going over the PvE and PvP god rolls of all 6 of those weapons. Definitely check that out so you guys know what to farm for. Again, linked up above. Now, on top of that, guys, something else very interesting, and for some people watching, extremely important, happened, I think yesterday, and that is you can actually get 3 Destiny 2 DLCs for free, but only for a few days. So as you can see right here, the Epic Games Store tweeted out, Santa's elves got nothing on our holiday sale. We're giving you the Destiny 2 Legacy Edition for free until December 20th. And if I zoom in here, you can see that the Legacy Collection actually includes the Witch Queen and Beyond Light and Shadow Keep. So that's honestly pretty huge. If you're just a free-to-play player, absolutely hop on the Epic Games Store. You're going to get, well, importantly, you're actually going to get Stasis as a new subclass. You're also going to get, what, like 3 different raids, a ton of different gear, a ton of different exotics. It is fantastic. However, it does come with a few major catches. So I was asking around on Twitter, like, how would this actually work? Let's say I owned just Beyond Light on Steam. Like, what would downloading this do? And unfortunately, like, the DLCs are locked behind every platform. So if you buy a DLC on Xbox, you don't necessarily get access to that content on PlayStation, or at least that's what everyone was telling me on Twitter. And so this would be the same thing. If you get these 3 DLCs via the Legacy Collection on the Epic Games Store, you have to be playing on the Epic Games Store to access that content. I do think, however, like weapons and gear from these different DLCs will be available on any platform, because I do know when stuff is made free for a limited time, if you do earn like an exotic during a free weekend of Witch Queen, let's say, you can just keep that exotic forever. So potentially the gear you earn, you can like move around the different platforms, but actually like playing the content, if you're not on the Epic Games Store, you might not be able to load into the Deepstone Crypt raid that came with Beyond Light, for example. So again, depending on the platform, there is some catches there, but for a lot of people, like, why not just get this via the Epic Games Store and then just hop onto that specific platform to play that new content for free? And again, you only have until the 20th to do so. And I hope that this is just the sign of things to come. I hope that this is a preview of Bungie eventually, my goodness, making these older DLCs that are years old, Shadow Keep as multiple years old at this point, free, hopefully just for all players. Imagine like how much more enticing Destiny 2 would be to get into as a free-to-play player if you had multiple DLCs worth of content added into that free-to-play experience. Please, Bungie, that's what you need to get more people into this game. But moving on from there, let's get into the brand new information within the TWAB. And guys, first things first, as you can see right here, this is going to be the last TWAB, or I guess TWID, I still hate that, of 2023, so nothing next Thursday. After that, guys, we had the Great Guardian Bake Off, and you can see right here, Bungie is announcing some of those winners, and you can check the rest out in the actual TWAB, which of course is going to be linked in the description of this video. Now, moving on from there, we have an update on Fireteam Finder. So Bungie says, last week we continued our careful rollout of the new Fireteam Finder beta. The results were solid following the second test last Wednesday. All gauges were in the green, so we decided to let it roll with all activities enabled. And even though things are seemingly going pretty darn well, Bungie does say we are going to leave the beta tag on it for a bit longer because we want to work on some small updates like adding emojis, and we have some bugs to fix. But don't worry, we promise not to run this beta as long as guided games. We're hoping to remove the tag early next year. All right, pretty awesome. So it does seem like Fireteam Finder is pretty darn functional, and I've heard from a lot of people who use it saying it's actually working very well. Now, they actually do share some interesting data from Fireteam Finder last week. So they say, here are the top 3 activities where we've seen groups form via Fireteam Finder. So dungeons, number 1 with 43.3%. Presumably, I wish they broke that down a bit further, but that's because the brand new dungeon, Warlord's Ruin, has just gone out. After that, we have raids at 26.5%, and then free roam, interestingly, at 21.1%. After that, Bungie weirdly provides the Lost Sector completion rate by Fireteam Finder groups. Like, why are you doing Lost Sectors in a group? Solo is where you get all the rewards, so that's a bit weird. Now, moving on from there, Bungie has a section talking about all of the charity work they've been able to do for 2023. They also have a video, Gratitude for Guardians, within the TWAB, where they have a bunch of the voice actors kind of thanking people for contributing. Again, you can check that out in the TWAB. Moving on from there, they have a section of wrapping up 2023. So, first of all, they have the crafting. Remember when you could make crazy weird weapons? They say there were 2.8 million weapons crafted during the crafting, of which 559,000 were the Amit AR2. Oh my goodness. After that, for Crota's End, which came out this year, 16.4 million attempts by 1.1 million Guardians, and 6.2 million clears by 690,000 Guardians. For Root of Nightmares, 28.7 million attempts by 1.6 million Guardians, and 14.8 million clears by 1.2 million Guardians. So a lot more clears than Crota's End, that's for sure. Now moving on from there, Warlord's Ruin, which just came out, 4.9 million attempts by 687,000 Guardians, 2 million clears by 528,000 Guardians. And then lastly, we have Ghosts of the Deep, 19.8 million attempts by 1.3 million Guardians, and 8.4 million clears by 1.1 million Guardians. So these numbers are actually extremely interesting to me because Crota's End was free, whereas Root of Nightmares came with a DLC. Warlord's Ruin and Ghosts of the Deep were part of the $20 Dungeon Pass. With that being said, the Dungeon Pass was included with like the Lightfall Special Edition, which a lot of Destiny players do buy. But it's just really interesting to see these numbers, like Crota's End, attempted by 1.1 million Guardians, the free-to-play one, whereas Ghosts of the Deep also attempted by 1.3 million Guardians. So more people attempted $20 paid Ghosts of the Deep than free Crota's End. And I think it's just really interesting numbers, and I think kind of what we talked about earlier in the video with making some DLCs free, the people who are playing Destiny, they're almost all paid, it looks like. Like, the majority of people pay for the DLCs, pay for the seasons, because they're so entrenched in this franchise. So potentially these numbers, Bungie is like kind of trying to, show their accomplishments, but I think they also maybe show that they're really doing a poor job of attracting brand new players. You would hope that the free-to-play raid Crota's End is just way more attempts by way more people because you have this big free-to-play crowd, but that's just not happening. Or, with that being said, this could also potentially show that free-to-play players, even though Crota's End is available to them, like, they're the more casual players. They're not going on a third-party LFG to find a raid team. And so that's maybe showing that the Fireteam Finder that has just been introduced, that could really, really shake things up. Maybe you will see the number of people doing Crota's Ends massively skyrocket because you have all these free-to-play players that are able to just much more casually and much more easily access a full raid team via Fireteam Finder. That could really, I really want to see these numbers maybe next year after Fireteam Finder has done its thing. In any event, guys, moving on from there, we have a brand new Amazon Prime gaming drop. You can see right here we have the Baking Cookies Exotic Dawning emote. We have the Winter Lotus Shell Exotic Dawning Ghost. We have the Cerulean Flash Exotic Dawning Ship, and the Portable Warmth Dawning themed Legendary Ghost Projection. And guys, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus, that is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.